ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
You had talked a couple weeks ago, you were doing an interview, and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, you know, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven, okay? I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven.
Yeah, a truth was spoken. A truth was spoken. And I only played that because you were definitely going to be in heaven. I know my name's in the book of life. I seen it. And, you know, your daddy, God in the Ghetto, you know, one of the liberation leaders of liberation theology. And you released his book as well a few years ago. I just wanted to bring some levity in. Let me welcome back to the show, Jennifer Jones Austin.
I'm so happy, so joyful, just so grateful to be with you. You know, I love you and I love you. I love the show. I love the people. So thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And I was surprised when I saw him say that because it's almost like he knows the truth. Like he's been playing in people's faces, but it's also like our responsibility to know that this is a charlatan. He knows what he is. He's making deals with these folk, making deals that are illegal. Like there's all kinds of criminal activity happening in our faces and nobody's doing anything about it. And he's like, okay, y'all not gonna do that.
You know, look, I think with Donald Trump, I don't know if he believes there's a hell. He may believe there's a heaven, but he may not believe there's a hell. And so he may just think, you know, I'm just going to ride this one out, do whatever I got to do for my own benefit, and we'll just see where it all ends. He's just going to ride the hell out of it right now. Do whatever he can to benefit himself, and we'll just see where it goes.
I don't have much time. So what? That kind of, it's almost nihilistic. It's crazy that we're in this such a detached from humanity
right
bubble. It feels very
and it's worsening.
Yeah, it is. At the same time though, I feel like a lot more people are waking up to like, okay, I need community. All right, I can't do this alone. And the poverty thing, which is, you've been fighting against poverty for most of your career, is going to become more dire for more people. We're in a government shutdown, day 13, furloughed people. People may not ever see another salary. Folk may never see their job again. And it's going to get real interesting. And I don't think many of us are prepared for what's coming.
Oh, no. I don't think that people at the core have understood that from the birthing of this nation. The founders of this nation, the people who took the land from the Native Americans, they were centering on economic and political power. And that has always been the base, the foundation of this nation. And whatever one need do to hold on to economic and political power, they will do. And what they understand is that you have to preserve it in the hands of a few. And so what we've seen for, now 400 plus years is whatever, any and every effort you must take. If it appears that there's some advancement on the part of those, who have been without economic and political power, then you got to shut that down. You were talking before the break about voting rights and why persons who are convicted yet have paid taxes, persons who've been convicted of felons, and then, like they serve their time, but they still got to do parole or probation, why some of them are not, their voting rights are not restored. It's all based in economic and political power. The reason you have mass incarceration to begin with is to ensure, and the disenfranchised with with it. It's to ensure that certain people do not have the right to vote. The reason you have what is called prison gerrymandering. Prison gerrymandering is when you take people, great numbers from urban communities, you you arrest them, you try them, you convict them, you incarcerate them, you put them in prisons that are in more rural places. And then for census purposes, you count them in the census for those rural places. So those rural places get greater numbers, they get representation, greater representation. But the people in those prisons cannot vote. And in turn, in the urban environments from which they came, those population numbers are now lower, so they have less representation. Again,
Wow.
it's all based in economic and political power.
You
So you're
just
not going to restore
described
the rights.
you just described the three-fifths compromise.
That's it.
Oh my
That's
God.
that's exactly what it is. And that's what I'm talking about. No matter what you change. You remember, I think I told you before, when I was chairing the Racial Justice Commission for the City of New York, I had an opportunity to meet with the General Counsel for Bishop Desmond Tutu. Had about a 2.5 hour conversation with him, and he filled me with so much wisdom. The takeaway, me paraphrasing, what he said to me was, Jennifer, be ever reminded, those who created the system created it to persist. And so if you think that just because we get the Voting Rights Act of 1965, they're going to let us have it and they're going to, like, just open up all the polls for us to just walk on through. If you think that you got Civil Rights Act and affirmative action that came with it, and they're going to let us in perpetuity, advance and have opportunity, you were wrong. You were deadly wrong. And I say deadly wrong. And so what this is just yet the next wave of those who created the system creating it to persist.
Okay. So when people talk about dismantling the system, I don't think people. So let me just say, I'm very centered on creating the world that I want to live in, the
Right?
world in which I want to live, not including what's already here. Like I'm
Hmm.
imagining what does it look like to have community? What does it look? So we need to feed ourselves. We need land. So now you have to
That's
navigate
right.
some things. But I'm thinking like, oh, let's reverse engineer this. We all live somewhere locally.
Hmm.
If we control our local politics
Yeah.
and then our state politics, then it gives us power in a way that just voting for the president won't. So
Yep.
we need to be hyper local. Like it's school board, it's dog catcher, it's
That's right.
it's all city council, is all the people. We have to over index in showing up for those primary elections.
Absolutely. So, but here's the deal, Karen. I'll quickly say on this point that many of the people who are the engineers of Project 2025 actually gave insight into what you're talking about. When they weren't certain whether or not they could reclaim the White House, what did they begin to do? They began to dismantle the power of the federal government so that they could cede power to the states, where they could thereby, if they had greater control of the states, they could define and dictate what they would be able to do in their own states. They've already given us the blueprint.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not beg.